This evening, the Ministry of Agriculture's Farmers Market project will be brought to the Albion Sports Complex. Water scarcity may soon be a thing of the past for the Itabali residents. U.S. bans Russian oil. What is next for oil and gas prices in Guyana? In the region, Venezuela frees 2 jailed U.S. citizens after talks. And internationally, Ukraine war, Kyiv residents shelter in subways amid Russian bombings. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. This morning, gas prices soared at the pumps around the country. Depending on the service station, prices increased from roughly $20 to $40 per litre. The effects of the rise in fuel prices comes in wake of the Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which began on February 24, 2022. While prices at the pump were rising long before Russia invaded Ukraine, it has spiraled even faster since the start of the war. Higher gas prices means more at the pump, leaving less money to be spent on other things. This has a cascading effect that will affect a wide range of sectors. Higher oil costs, in general, are a drag on the economy, affecting everything from consumers' spending to transportation and goods and services that we all rely on every day. Guyanese will now be paying more to go to the grocery store on top of increasing prices at the grocery stores. This time, high fuel prices are occurring in the midst of a number of crises, including Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a pandemic that is receding but yet not ended, and high inflation levels in years. This Sunday, the Ministry of Agriculture will take its Farmers Market initiative to the Albion Sports Complex in the East Berbice quarantine area. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said the event allows consumers to benefit from originally grown fruits, vegetables, and other commodities. It will also provide local farmers with the opportunity to sell their produce in large quantities and receive higher sales. Quote, "This came about because we are finding the middleman are buying the goods, vegetables, and products from these people to go to the market and put a higher markup. Over the last few months, what we have noticed is that the price for vegetables and other commodities have skyrocketed, so we want to put this measure in place," end of quote. Additionally, he emphasized that this approach is part of the government's advanced efforts to reduce the cost of food commodities. The first farmers market, which was hosted at the Lusignan Market Tarmac on February 20th, was successful as consumers, farmers, and agro-processors came out in large numbers to participate in the event. Minister Mustafa said he anticipates a bigger turnout at the Berbice leg of the event. He has called on Barbicians to come out and take advantage of the exercise. Driving in several communities around the country will become a lot smoother as the Ministry of Public Works is about to roll out its miscellaneous road program. $15.2 billion was assigned to the ministry's miscellaneous road program in budget 2022, $7.2 billion more than the previous year's budget. Contractors were requested to submit proposals via public notices published in daily publications. The program expected to restore several roads in regions 2, 3, 5, and 6. If you would like to submit your bid, you can visit the Ministry of Public Works website at mopw.gov.gy for more details. Stick around after the break. 2 unregistered firearms were found by police in the Festival City area, and water scarcity may soon be a thing of the past for the Itabali residents.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries, and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. For residents of Itabali Region 7, an insufficient supply of water will soon be a thing of the past with a $4 million update to the water supply system. This upgrade will include the rehabilitation of the community and expansion of the system to allow additional people access to water. The announcement was made by the Regional Executive Officer of Region 7, Carwin Ward, during a recent visit to the community. The REO was at the time accompanying Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance Gil Teixeira. Councillor of the Community Development Council, Cleveland Trotz, said he was happy with the development and is anxiously awaiting the upgrade. Trotz explained that most of the persons in the community only received water in their homes when it rained. He said he was pleased with the pace with which the concerns of the people are being addressed since the issue was made known during a recent meeting with a representative from the Guyana Water Incorporated. Acting on information received, a party of policemen from Regional Division 4 and ranks from Special Branch went to a property in Unity Street, Festival City, Georgetown, where 3 males were arrested following the discovery of unlicensed firearms and ammunition on Wednesday, March 9th. On arrival of the police, one of the 3 men attempted to flee but was pursued and apprehended. While searching the property, police unearthed a 9mm Glock pistol along with 3 matching rounds of ammunition stashed in a chair. A further search was conducted in a bedroom and unearthed a .32 Sterling pistol without a magazine wrapped in a grey jeans on the bed. The men could not produce license or explanations for the weapons and were arrested and placed in custody at the East Le Penitence Police Station pending investigations. Don't go away after the break. US and UK rule out no-fly zone over Ukraine again, and Venezuela frees 2 jailed US citizens after talks. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Maison Francois is the chocolate paradise of Guyana. From the moment you enter our store, you are welcomed by the sweet aroma of Belgian chocolate, pastries and other artisanal treats handmade by our European-trained chef. Our convenient location at the City Mall is the perfect place to take that special someone or to take home a little sweetness. So treat yourself with a taste of Paris in the heart of Georgetown, only at Maison Francois.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Venezuela has freed 2 jailed United States citizens in an apparent goodwill gesture following a visit to Caracas by high-level delegations from Washington, D.C. Al Jazeera's Lucia Newman reports.
Gustavo Cárdenas, second from the left, is one of 6 executives of Citgo, the U.S.-based affiliate of Venezuela's state-owned oil company, sentenced to between 9 and 15 years in prison in Caracas. His release and that of Cuban-American Jorge Alberto Fernandez, accused of terrorism for flying a drone in Venezuela, are the first tangible results of a secret meeting last weekend between Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and 3 White House envoys. The U.S. applauds the men's release and hopes another 7 American prisoners will soon follow. But it concedes the meeting had another key objective.
And it's also true that we have an interest globally in maintaining a steady supply of energy, including through our diplomatic efforts. So all of these things come to bear when it comes to Venezuela.
Venezuela has the world's largest oil reserves, but its industry and its economy have been crippled by harsh U.S. sanctions aimed at forcing out President Maduro, whom Washington labels a dictator. Maduro is also Russian President Vladimir Putin's staunchest regional ally. Yet he told top military and political leaders that talks with the U.S. would continue, adding he'd spoken to fellow OPEC members about increasing Venezuelan oil production. That would require the U.S. to ease or eliminate oil sanctions.
We
have always led initiatives to stabilize the oil market, the gas market, and the energy market.
Once we have recovered moderately, we are prepared to produce up to 3 million barrels for the stability of the world, for peace, for everything.
For the last 3 years, Washington has recognized opposition leader Juan Guaidó as Venezuela's transition president. But the Ukraine crisis and the skyrocketing price of fuel seem to be setting the stage for a more pragmatic approach to U.S.-Venezuelan relations.
There's an extraordinary correlation between major oil-producing countries and autocratic rulers. The US doesn't want to buy Russian, Iranian or Venezuelan oil. The Saudis don't answer the phone. So if you're Biden, you don't have the luxury right now to choose who you buy from to keep petrol prices down. You have to pick the lesser evil.
That doesn't mean that Washington is close to recognizing Maduro. One thing is business and another politics. There is, after all, a long history of commercial ties between countries that don't have diplomatic relations. Lucia Newman, Al Jazeera.
Internationally, Russian forces are closing in on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv. Many of those who have not fled Kyiv are hiding under its streets in subway stations and tunnels. Al Jazeera's Steph Vason reports.
Looking for cover in a city virtually under siege. With attacks coming from the sky and on the ground, a population on the run. Leaving the streets empty and eerie. Barricades made of everything large enough to stop Russian troops entering the country's capital city, Kyiv, the main prize in Vladimir Putin's war. But not everybody has left. Deep below the city, people have settled in for the long haul, hiding from bombardments and shelling. Daria Oblashevich has been sleeping in the subway with her 2 young sons since the war started. Her husband is fighting on the front line.
Nearby our house, there are such bombs. There are flying some attacks. We hear the sounds. He's very nervous about it. And here we don't hear any sound. There are safe place. There's shelter.
And in the darkness of the underground, there is someone to bring a smile to her children's faces. Larisa Klimchik normally works with cancer patients, but they have all been evacuated.
I am very worried because my own children and grandchildren have been evacuated, but I have an older mother who's 86 and I'm very concerned about her. But the children I visit don't care about my worries. I have to support them. I have to support their mothers. That's why I must smile, be inspired, be energetic, jump with them.
The train company is allowing people to sleep inside the carriages to stay warm, until they need to use them again. For those who remain in Kyiv, life has moved deep underground. Here they hope to be safe from Russian bombs and missiles, but they're all holding their breath for what's coming next. And if they will be able to go back home at all. But some are taking their chances. This family left their apartment after an airstrike nearby. Now they are going home.
We are coming back. Do I feel safe? I don't know. I feel optimistic.
Why are you optimistic?
We are winning. So why not?
You don't feel the Russian forces are approaching the city right now?
Oh, they are approaching, but we'll see where they get.
Nearby we find a family finally reunited after a nerve-wracking escape from Irpin, a commuter town near Kyiv, now one of the front lines of this war.
We were leaving on foot from Irpin on March 8th. We were leaving on foot. We were leaving on foot to a subway station, which is nearly 2.5 hours of walking. There was a lot of shelling and shooting. There was no light, no gas, no water in Irpin.
Despite their fear, the family wants to stay together. They have to take care of their 99-year-old grandmother. She's too frail to move.
I really trust the Ukrainian army. I probably never believed in something so strong as I now believe in the army. But I'm very worried about my children. I can't tell you where I will go. If I take my children to safety, I will have to leave my parents and my husband behind. My heart is breaking and I don't know what is the right thing to do.
For now, she is staying with her mother and brother, in fear, but at least they are together. Clinging on to hope, the barricaded capital will be able to hold off a full-scale Russian attack that could come at any time.
Step Fasten, Al Jazeera, Kyiv.
And finally, the United States and the United Kingdom have reiterated their opposition to establishing a no-fly zone over Ukraine, saying they want to avoid a direct military confrontation with Russia, Al Jazeera's Rosalind Jordan reports.
A show of support for Ukrainian resistance from the U.S. State Department.
It's impossible to see the images of people seeking refuge in Kyiv's metro in 2022 and not think of those who sheltered in the London Underground in 1942.
And a vote of confidence in the West's response to Russia's invasion.
We have surprised Putin with our unity and the toughness of our sanctions.
Those sanctions, including U.S. and U.K. oil import bans, cutting Russian banks off from international transactions, and the freezing of assets belonging to officials, including President Vladimir Putin, have rocked the Russian economy. The Kremlin is crying foul.
Unconditionally, the United States declares economic war against Russia, and it's waging this war.
Western officials are unapologetic. They call their economic strategy an extremely effective way of holding Moscow accountable for attacking Ukrainian civilians.
Economically, the measures that we've taken have erased 30 years of progress integrating Russia into the world. So, I think what we're looking at is whether or not President Putin will decide to try to finally cut the losses that he's inflicted on himself and inflicted on the Russian people.
We're very clear that our objective is for Putin to fail in Ukraine. This unwarranted act of aggression must not succeed, and there would be terrible consequences if it did succeed for European and global security.
Even though the U.S. and the U.K. agree that Vladimir Putin will not succeed in conquering Ukraine, there wasn't any offering from either the foreign minister or the Secretary of State on what exactly the end of the war will look like, or whether any relationship with Moscow can continue if he remains in power. Rosalind Jordan, Al Jazeera at the State Department.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other.